right, it's time to scan your picture into the computer using the scanner. So, first, of course, it has to be your turn to go back to the scanner. You should probably go back to the scanner right before the person before you gets done. That way you can watch them a little bit and see how they use the scanner. On this scanner here, there are instructions, and the instructions say exactly how to scan your picture, and you can use those instructions to make sure if you get lost or you need help, just read the instructions. And so I'll do that right now with you, and you can see how to do it. Okay, let's start with one of your pictures. So I'm going to choose one of these pictures. I kind of like this one right here, so I'm going to choose this one. This one happened to be printed out on a color printer, it looks like, at home, which is perfectly fine. If you had a picture at home, you could bring it in like that. So the first step is to open up the scanner. And this is kind of tricky. Putting the picture on the scanner, there's an arrow right here, and that's supposed to be at the corner of your picture, right here. Okay? So you're going to put your picture down so that your top corner, your top left corner of the picture, is right there. It's going to look kind of like it's upside down to you maybe, because sometimes people would like put it down like that, but that's going to actually scan upside down. So put it on the glass like this, flatten it down like that, and then slide it into the corner. Okay, now your picture is ready on the glass. Okay, the directions say run Canon scan, then click save. You can just go ahead, if it's not already running on your computer, look on the computer, see if it's running. If it's not already running, you press this button right here which says scan. Okay, you press that button, it's the first button, and the scanner program should open up. Now, you're going to, it's got a little error message, you're going to click on the X here, and then the X there, and then one more X right there. Okay, I'm going to move this to the center. This is called the little Canon scan toolbox for the Canon scanner. It's got a lot of buttons. The one you're looking for is the one that says save. It's right in the middle. Okay, it's right here in the middle. It's called save. You just go ahead and click on it, and it's going to come down with this little box here. Okay, so we've already done step one. Step two is to make sure it's set up right. In this box down here are the 4 choices on how to save it. You could save it as a bitmap, a JPEG, a TIFF, or a PDF. Now, TIFFs and bitmaps, they take up a lot of space, because what the scanner will do is it'll scan a bunch of dots across your picture, and it will save the color of each dot, and that's what's stored on the computer. That can take up a lot of space inside your computer, depending on how big your picture is and how many dots you're scanning. There is a better way to do that, which is once the picture's been scanned, to see of all the dots what colors have been used, and then make like a table that helps to save the file much smaller. And so the good file type for saving things much smaller is the JPEG, JPEG, Joint Picture Expert Group. So make sure it's set on that, JPEG. Next, you want to be saving into the correct directory. Okay, for this assignment, you're going to save it in the same folder as everybody else in your class. Okay, so, or at least everybody else in your classroom, okay, and in your school. So first click on Browse, and then you're going to want to look for the shared folder that is for your class. So right now, the way that's configured, it's under Share. So you double click on Share, and then MS for middle school, and then Classes, then your teacher's name, and then Handout, and then there's a folder called Scans. Now looking in there, right now I can see folders from other classes, but I don't see a folder for this class. If you don't see a folder for your class, then you're exactly the right spot. But if you do see a folder for your class, you should double-click on that folder, okay? Then click OK. Now this might already be set for you, so just take a look at it. See if it looks like it's saving into the right folder. Remember, that's where you're going to find your pictures later on, so you can put them onto your slides. Okay? So we've done step number 1, which is to run the program. Step number 2, which is to set it up. Oh, there was one more thing to make sure of, and that is there's a couple check boxes here. The checkbox on top here says use the scanner driver to make advanced settings. Yes, you should have a check in that. The one on the bottom here says put pictures in a subfolder using today's date. There should not be a check in that one. You don't want a little folder for each date. That makes it hard, and I might not be able to find the pictures to correct them if they're in folders. So that one should not have a check. Again, this is the same as this picture right here, which is already on the scanner. So you can just look right here and make sure it's right. Okay, so we've got the picture in the scanner. We have the program ready to scan. Now you need a file name to scan your picture with. So in the file name box, clear that out. You're going to type your last name, then your first name without capitals and without spaces. So last name, first name, without capitals and without spaces. Okay, so if it was John Smith, they'd write Smith John, no capitals, no spaces. Then what hour are you in class? Is this 9th hour? Is it 1st hour? Is it 7th hour? Go ahead and put down what hour you are in. Again, no spaces, no capitals. And then finally, a few words to describe the picture. So I'm going to actually look at this picture again. I kind of forgot which one I put on here. Okay, that was the baseball players. So I'm going to call this picture the baseball players. Make sure to keep it on the glass. Close it gently so the picture doesn't wiggle out of the space. And I'm going to write baseball players. Okay, so that is step 4. Now I'm going on to step 5, which is to click the big blue scan button. And we're talking about this button right here on the program. So we're going to click on that, click, and up is going to come the advanced settings. Now in the advanced settings, you might see a picture on there. That would be the picture from the person who scanned before you. Okay, so that's not your picture. Scanners don't work that fast anyways, at least not right now they don't. Maybe someday there'll be instant scanners like that. But a scanner, the way it works is the scan goes down the glass, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, so we're going to click on the next step, which is press preview to display a test image. You're going to click on preview, and it's going to scan down the glass, and I'm going to show you what it's doing by opening this door once it gets past the picture. This is called the scanner bar. The scanner bar is moving, and it's got that light there, and it basically photographs a line of dots every 1/300th of a second or something like that. It goes really fast, so it gets line of dots, 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 and that's how it builds the picture. Okay, now it's resetting back to the start spot. Now when you are doing your preview, you don't have to let it go all the way down the glass and all the way back, because you still need to scan it. So what you would normally do is you click preview, and as soon as the scanner bar gets past your picture, then you can press cancel, and that'll save time. There we go. Okay, next. Step number 7 says crop the region you want to actually scan. Okay, so there should be a little dotted line around your picture. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your mouse on there, and your mouse is going to turn into like a double arrow, or maybe a 3-direction arrow when you get it on the edge of that little dotted box. Hold down your mouse button, and then you can pull in the edges of that box and put it around just the piece of picture that you want to scan. You don't have to scan the entire picture. So I'm just going to put it around the 3 baseball players and their shadows, because their shadows are kind of cool, I guess. it's up to you what you scan. I mean, maybe you just want to scan the number on the one person. So look at your photo and see which part of it do you want to scan. Maybe you want to scan the whole thing. Sometimes people will accidentally lose the little dotted box. For example, if I just click right here, the dotted box vanishes. But it's real easy to bring that dotted box back. You just imagine the box where you want it. You imagine the corners. You click where one of the corners is and you hold your mouse. Then you pull diagonally towards the opposite corner. Then you let go. Okay, so what you're going to get is you're going to get your little dotted line back where you want it. Okay, that's called cropping because we're only going to scan that part of the image. That means it's going to take up less space on our computer. It's going to be able to go across the internet faster and all that's good stuff. Okay, so next step. Now press scan to actually scan the picture. So this is the real scanning. Happens when we press scan, which is just here. Now this is set for 300 dots per inch. So for every inch on this picture, and it's not scanning right now, so I can pick it up here. So every inch, as that scanner comes down, it's going to be scanning 300 dots for every inch. That is a lot of dots. So this picture is about 6 inches across. That is 1,200 little dots. Is that right? 3 times 6, 1,800 little dots. And this way, it's going to go down 300 lines for every inch. So if the picture is 4 inches high, 4 times 3 is 1,200 dots. So 1,200 dots times 1,600 dots, that's like 2 million dots. And each dot is actually scanned in with 3 colors, red, green, and blue. So that's about 3 million little pieces of information by scanning. And that's got to be saved in a file. Okay, so again, I've got to put the picture right back exactly where it was because now we're going to scan it. I'm going to press the scan button. It says perform scan. Sometimes it's going to say something like calibrating. The scanner just has to kind of move around a little bit, make sure it's lined up just right. It could take up to a minute to do that sometimes. Now after you're done scanning your picture, then you can put the picture onto a slide. You're going to put one picture on each slide that doesn't already have a picture. So each picture is going to have no more than one slide. Now a shape and a clip art are not going to count as a picture. What I'm talking about is one picture that you've scanned or one picture that you've taken with a camera. Okay? So for example, in your presentation there's the hello slide. On the first slide, the hello slide, there's going to be a picture of you that you're going to take with your tablet computer, your iPad. But on the rest of the pictures, like your family pictures, your career slides, you can put one of these pictures. Now it might be kind of small or it might be kind of big. This picture would be good on the sports and chores. So maybe the person likes to play baseball, so they'd put this on their baseball. Their slide would probably say baseball, they could put it on there. Okay, now a folder is going to open up. This is the folder where all those pictures are being saved. That's the one that is right here where it says save into this folder, and you clicked on browse and you got it in the right folder. Now here's the picture. You're going to double click on it and look at it. So there's the picture. I've double clicked on it. There it is, nice and big. You'll notice I scanned only this part of the image. That's going to be the part that goes on my slide. And then once you're sure it's right, I mean it's not sideways, it doesn't have white edging on it. I mean if it has any of those things, then you're going to scan it again. Maybe you had the crop region wrong, maybe you had the picture turned around wrong on the glass here. Once it looks right, then you're going to click on X, double check that your file name is there, that it's got your name on it, because that's how you're going to find it, and that's also how your teacher's going to find it, so they can give you credit for it. And then you're going to close this folder. Okay? Finally, you're almost done. Now you got to get out of here and get the next person and go back to your computer. So open the door, take your picture, and also you want to clear out your name from the file name box. Because if the next person comes, they sit down, they put the picture on the scanner, and they hit scan, they're going to be replacing your picture with their picture. And then when you go to insert your picture, you're going to see their picture, and you're going to be like, what happened to my picture? And the person who sat down and scanned it, when they go back to their computer, they're not going to find theirs because they didn't put in the name. Okay? So it's very important that you clear out your name so that the next person doesn't accidentally scan it on top of yours. So take out your name. You could put some random letters in there like A, and then click Apply, and then you are ready to go. Okay, if you need any help, just make sure to raise your hand. Other than that, good luck with scanning.